Do you have gaps in your work history that you need to address on your resume? Maybe you've taken time off because of family obligations, or maybe you were laid off and it's taken you a lot longer than planned to find a new job. If this sounds like you, stay tuned, because in this video, you'll learn how to address those gaps of unemployment. And if you stay around until the end, I have a sample resume template that you can download today and customize to apply for your next job. Hey there, if we've never met before, I'm Heather Austin from ProfessorAustin.com and the Career Club on Facebook. And on this channel, I share simple solutions to help you build a business or launch a career you love. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification down below so you don't miss a thing. And real quick, comment down below with what your biggest frustration is when it comes to writing a resume. So here's the thing, employment gaps normally don't become a concern to an employer unless they are 6 months old. And you'll be surprised, but employment gaps are a little bit more common today than they were in the past. So don't let an employment gap hold you back from applying for your next job. And when it comes to explaining those gaps in your work history, you want to be truthful and not misleading. Most employers will do some type of background check before they hire you anyway. So let's jump into it. Tip number 1 is to format your resume strategically. So rather than a reverse chronological resume format, which is the most common and displays your work history in a chronological time frame, consider using a functional resume format or even a hybrid resume format. This will bring focus to your accomplishments and abilities rather than placing emphasis on the dates you were employed. This also allows you to place more than one position under one section heading. For example, instead of a general work experience section, you might have a section called Sales and Marketing Experience, or Customer Service Experience, or Database Administration Experience. The sections you use should relate directly to the position that you are applying for. Now, if you have more questions about how to format your resume properly, take a look at the video I did about how to format a resume. I'll go ahead and link that up below. Tip number 2, use a professional profile to emphasize your strengths. A professional profile is a short paragraph of information that emphasizes your most important accomplishments. It appears right below your contact information on your resume. Use this section to explain your strengths and show what you can do for an employer. This is the perfect place to sell yourself. You want to show them how great you are so that when they notice a gap in your work history, it's not a huge concern to them. Mention what your greatest accomplishments have been in the industry and what you can do to solve some of the company's largest problems. Tip number 3, list dates in years rather than months and years. For example, let's say that you were employed in a position from January of 2014 to March of 2016. And then let's say that your next position didn't start until later that year, December of 2016. What you could do is list 2016 through present on your most recent position, and then 2014 to 2016 on the position prior to that. Tip number 4, include other types of experience you gained while unemployed. This can be volunteer work, part-time work, contract work, and even freelance work. So I've shared this before, but I'm gonna say it again. 41% of employers value volunteer work as much as they do paid work. When you include other types of work experience that you gained while unemployed, this demonstrates to the employer that you can take initiative. Think of special projects you've done, or community involvement you've had, or maybe you've even pursued continuing education. List these things on your resume. Tip number 5, use your cover letter to explain your gap in more detail. Give a brief explanation of why the gap occurred and what skills and experiences you gained while you were unemployed. This reiterates to the employer that you are upfront and honest and that you're not trying to hide anything. This also gives you extra practice for when the question comes up in an interview. And if you're unsure of how to write a cover letter, I have you covered because I created a video about how to write the perfect cover letter. I'll leave it in the description below. So here's an example of how you can address your employment gap on your cover letter. letter. I had a brief break in the workforce because, and then list the reason, and you could say something like a reduction in force in my previous employment, or to care for my 2 small children who are now in school full-time. During that time, I kept current with the latest trends and technologies by, and then list something that you did that kept you up to date in your field. I also volunteered at, and then list somewhere that you volunteered, where I, and then list what you did as a volunteer. To get it right when it comes to your resume, make sure you download your free copy of the 6-second resume. It's an easy to use downloadable resume template that you can grab today and customize to apply for your next job. I'll link that up below. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button below. If you know anyone that might benefit from it, please feel free to share it with them. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.